Hey guys, what's going on? Pardon me. Pardon me. It is the evening of the eclipse, the solar eclipse 2024. It's Tuesday, April 9th, 12:32 a.m. And I just wanted to come up on here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just show you something. Isn't this cute? I have been wanting to wear this for about a few weeks now. This is just so darling. So cute. And I chose to wear it yesterday. Um, it's just really cool on how like the most opportune time came like on the day of the solar eclipse where the moon, was basically over here trying to outshine the sun. And I say trying to because like yeah, it made a lot of places go dark, but then ultimately like you still saw the luminous area from the sun like still coming out, still shining, and I thought it was very beautiful. It was just so gorgeous seeing all those videos, and then I got to see it for myself, and it really, hopefully, it really humbled humanity. I'm sorry, not mankind. Hopefully, it really humbled mankind because, like, as intelligent as we can be, and I say can be because not many of us apparently are, thinking clearly or accurately or wanting to advance or even trying to advance in the right ways. So, as many of us try to be, intellectuals, um, I just I just really appreciate moments of when nature really just kind of like outshines itself naturally. And I feel like it humbles mankind, where it's just like, hey, look, like, okay, we get it. You can make robots, you can do this, that, here, and the third. That is awesome, but you do not. You still cannot do this, homie. You still cannot do this, homie. Like, yo, for all the moments when man pretends or thinks of themselves as a god, there's this, you feel me? Like, what are you gonna do? Like shut a room, like I swear so many times people, they see themselves as some type of deity or figure or something as, to be feared, revered, and controlling, and then yet they cannot stop an eclipse from happening, you know um they'll try to do a workaround. They were like, yo, I can do the eclipse, and they'll just literally like poke a hole in the bag and have the sun shine through it and be like, see that, that's the eclipse, that's me. that's what I can that's what I can do, or some kind of replication. But it's just like, no, like at the same time, like, can you do this yet? Can you do this now? No, you cannot. So do shit, sit your ass down, remember who you are, what your limitations are, and stop thinking yourself as all being and almighty. It's just, and it goes the same way with like when you come face to face with like, a doctor, or a doctor comes face to face with the patient's family, something like that, where it's just like, okay, you save somebody, but the moments where you don't save somebody, you blame it on nature, you blame it on like you basically blame it on God, whether or not you believe in God, because you're too busy sometimes thinking of yourself as a god. You blame it on God, but you call it nature. You blame it on God, but you call it just natural, just things happen. You feel me? I find like one of the names for just nature, universe, universal laws. I call it God, to just make more things more simpler. Like there's a lot of tales and fables and storylines and narratives that go on within the Bible, and I'm just like, oh, those are just nice stories. You feel me? Like hell, we listen to our parents and our grandparents regale us about their tales about, oh yeah, I walked 3 miles in the snow to go to school, and it's just like, you live down the street. Stop it, lady. Okay. Like some shit like that. But or like, I mean shit. Like we even listen to like, like friends and whatnot like that, lie or like, stretch the truth when it comes to um moments about like, like a relationship and in regards to their or like their conquest. I mentioned to you on the YouTube video way back when a guy will lie about like, hitting on a girl. I'm just like, oh yeah, man. She wants me. Or they'll be like, swear to God, man, the hooker gave the money back. Like, that was a comedian that had made that line. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to those moments where people are uh, definitely very imaginative with 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 their history. I guess it's probably why a lot of people don't appreciate my directness, or just like I'm like, no, that doesn't happen. That's huh. Sometimes I catch myself when I'm just like, oh wow, okay, that's why. That's one thing I used to post. 'Cause I'm like, oh wait, that didn't happen. No, don't you remember? Sometimes I do be catching myself. Okay, I'm gonna note that. Um, but in the meantime, yeah, it's just like nonetheless, you know. In the meantime, I'm just gonna say that there's moments where people will definitely like, kind of regale us with tales and things of that nature, storylines, just like you would see, like, I guess, like in a Bible or something of that nature. And this is so cute. I'm telling you, it's so pretty. I feel it's giving share. It's giving the coolest. It's giving Muppets. It's giving also New York City vibes. I really like it. It's giving Audrey Hepburn. It's giving New York City. Pardon me. It's really pretty. I love. It's giving Nana. My grandmother was a fashionable woman. It's giving a lot of things. It's giving many, many, many things, darling. Many, 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 many things. And one of my birthstone for Aries is a diamond. Actually, for especially for April. April, April birthstone is diamond, and Aries is supposedly the diamond. So I really love it. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. People like really try to play things about Aries and diamonds. I'm just like, stop. Like, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. People have been trying for such a long time. But anyway, yeah, I really like the fact that the eclipse and things of that nature really just humbles man. Humbles man, because like people really they're the ego has gotten too big, extremely, extremely too big, to the point where it is just like, come on, man, you are not, like, remind yourself on who you are and who you aren't. Don't get it twisted. Like, definitely have confidence in yourself. Definitely have a moment where you value yourself to a degree where you are like thinking of yourself as highly sought after, or even like a person that can achieve, like, can reach for the stars, reach for the moon, and then you may be able to land amongst the stars. But like, you know what I'm saying, and mostly the gist of things. It's just that, yeah, a lot of people have been thinking themselves as like an actual deity and an actual god, and it's wild, that entire concept. Doesn't mean that you can't be a creator of your own when it comes to childbirth and things of that nature. But then it's just like saying, well, then every person under the sun is a god. Even the people that you look down on, even the people who like the homeless people that you look down on, or like you murder and things of that nature. And I'm just like, that's that's insane. You feel me? Like, I think in the overall scheme of things, people were just really trying to downplay or reduce the significance and the importance of nature. Nature, and there being just like one universal, I wouldn't say figure, but just like a one universal high reference of respect that we cannot attain without manipulation. And that's whether it's science or fantasy, things of that nature. Okay. But you right now, as of right now, 2024, you cannot reproduce everything that nature can do. And this eclipse was one of them. It was just so beautiful. I love it. We can manipulate weather by doing other things, where you're using parts of science to combine certain kind of matters. And we can do things on ourselves where we are creating clones out of, or recreating creating clones of, like, of like lambs and farm animals. And I'm pretty sure illegally, without our knowing, there's probably there's probably been some more aggressive kind of experiments. But from what the public knows, sheep and farm animals. And then there's been also the reproduction of the human ear or human heart, things of that nature. Again, things of that nature, natural things. Like, you were inspired by something, and yet you wanted to reduce its importance and its significance by, saying, "Hey, I can do this too." It's like when man made fire. I'm pretty sure even man, when man made fire, he himself was just like, "Wow," not like, "I am a god." He was just like, fire. You would only get it at a point in time when there was when it was naturally either from the ground, from earth, when it came from from lava, or if it came from the sky when it was like, a thunderstorm and lightning had struck a tree, something like that, when something had sparked the flame. But when man actually created it for himself, that's when, I think that's the moment when, like, true evolution just really started progressing. And after that, people just really started feeling themselves and started somewhere in between that. People started just really considering themselves by God. Like, even back in the day when kings and queens were around, like, even they had some kind of respect and reverence to a higher power. It was just like, I am ordained by God. You feel me? Whereas, like, okay, yeah, I am a king, but there is somebody that is more important than me. Okay, I cannot do every fucking thing. There is someone at the very end of the day that I respect, whether you call it God or use just, a universal reference. There it is. And I know this. I don't mean to make anybody uncomfortable about, like, about religion and things of that nature, because I myself don't want to force my own religion onto you. That's what I'm just saying. Like, if you don't want to say God, that's totally understandable, especially considering how crazy a lot of people who are religious and spiritual and things of that nature are nowadays. But there's something to respect out there that is a higher power than all of us, that, man cannot replicate or reproduce just yet. As hard as they try, you know, as hard as they try. And I appreciate a lot of the advancements that, that is, you know, being created right now to undo a lot of the damage that's happened because of man when it comes to, like, pollution and things of that nature. And I told you about the one about the snail. I think that there's a snail that actually eats, there's a snail or a worm that eats plastic, and they've made some type of synthetic material in order to be able to eat through and dissolve plastic, because even throughout over 100 years, like, plastic is still there. But that's amazing that they're able to do that. It's just, a lot of undoing the bad that we've done in this world. I mean, with COVID, when we had the mandated kind of staying inside the house, people allow the earth to regulate, to clean itself, to get to a point where the water started getting clearer, getting healthier. And then it went back to shit when people just felt too antsy and needed to go back outside and travel and all this other kind of jazz. But yeah, and we still have animals, going extinct or dying out and things of that nature, and yet man cannot save them. Yet there's no excuse there, right? Oh my goodness, my makeup was so cute today. I had, like, the blue eyeshadow and things of that nature. I had some um I had some sushi, and then I had a boba, and I also I had sushi, I had some boba, and then I you know me, took my nap. Get a nap so that we can have this conversation that could be. It's Leela right there. It's Leela doing her thing, doing her thing. Okay, she's done. It's like she's really in there. I think it's pretty loud over there. I think she's embarrassed now, so she went downstairs to just have her little moment. It's like, bitch, I know you just did not. You're loud enough. She's loud enough. Like, oh my god. Oh my, oh brother. Anyway, so yeah, that was my little that was my perspective on the eclipse that happened, and we were in the evening of it. I think, ooh, pardon me, 'cause I have to wash my face. And pardon me. Yeah, so I have to wash my face and get the eye makeup off me and go back to taking myself a good old nap. Taking myself a good old nappy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like, all right, so here's the thing. Here's the vibes. Here's the vibes. Vibes are here. Um, I stumbled across a few a few series of content in reference to certain people trying to save face, people that were, being really offensive and harmful to my life. And it is very interesting on how these people of varying ages and race, but primarily black, are really trying to go about it to like taint, distort, and vilify my identity. When it's just like these people cannot take responsibility for shit. Okay? For shit. Bruh, it's insane. So it's just like it's me going against, multiple people. It comes down to me going against people who are obviously the OG lazy losers who did their damnedest in order to try to take my identity by falsifying evidence and falsifying a storyline and and a narrative about me, which they were just basically projecting and speaking of themselves, all the while trying to conduct a really, really heinous, like slanderous campaign with not just people who I grew up with, but strangers within the Black community primarily, and also people outside the Black community. And you also have, and a number of them being the youth, not even in this generation. It's the older generation, yes, because they have this warped mindset where, they feel like controlling people. And so they speak over them and try to, because outside of America, America, which was more fast forward in regards to just stepping away from tradition and trying to make it their own, where there's still a lot of arranged marriages outside of and also inside of America, because it is the United States, so a lot of the cultures from outside are inside. But outside primarily, there are a lot of arranged marriages. There are still that hierarchy where the mother has total say so of what the daughter must do. Like, it's more lax in America than it is out there, and, you will be ostracized, you will be put out and things of that nature. It's more independent, is that more independent, and I guess, challenging identity that women have in America that really intimidate and make women outside of America very insecure about themselves because I don't see why women can't really just, live for themselves because it's always like this perpetuating moment where women are complaining about how men are treating us, but then there's also the women who are participating, the same women that are kind of saying this, not in its entirety, but a lot of the same women that are saying this are the same women that are still, bringing their toxic childhood into their child's life and then into other women's lives, either women that are, like in a parallel kind of manner, where it's like, your coworker or some younger woman that's a coworker or some younger woman that is your mentee that you mentor, that some younger woman that you happen to frequently see or visit or something of that nature. Like that toxicity that these older women, is, I wouldn't say even escape from, because if they still have it, then it's ingrained in them from, when they were young, and they still have like a toxic probably they still have a toxic mother around or mother figure around that wants to control them and control what they want to do and tell them what to do, and don't even ask you. They'll just say some shit where they just speak on your behalf and say, oh, this person did that. Like they treat women like these women treat other women like dolls or some shit like that, because like I hear some shit where it's just like, and I hear this shit, constantly. I hear this shit constantly, and it's so fucking unattractive, especially from women who are supposedly. Oh, something got in my eye. Especially from women who have my complexion. As it's like, I mean, well, my complexion or darker, but it's just like, yo, like, how are you? Why are you? And can you just shut the fuck up? Like, god damn, like it's literally like how old are you? What year is this? There are women nowadays, right now, there are women nowadays that are looking at the women overseas because they're really trying to hype up the situation where the women overseas are being the kept woman. Because with a lot of the religions that are going on, that are the religions that are being practiced right now, a lot of people are having a very warped mindset about. Okay, hold on. Sorry. It's just that I think right now like the flavor of the social economic community, the flavor of the week within the socio-economic community is, the traditional value system where we are being very we're being like servant to men, obviously to men that are who are willing to be the man that we want them to be. Ultimately, we're not just going to be um, subservient and all those beautiful glittery things to just any old basic man who's undeserving. Although I have seen some celebrities really do the most, and because it's just like, oh, as long as he got money, no, no, you idiot. It's like, I mean, hey, look, if this is like a young experience for you, or if there's like some type of dire circumstance, then go ahead. By all means, have that moment in your life, that blurb, and bitch better make it a blurb where you are, living like that. But it's just like, oh my God, there's just it's weird. There's just different types of women. I mean, that part in itself isn't weird. I actually like the variety. I'm just saying that it's just it's it's a weird bag, man. It's a weird bag. I like the women out there that are, not giving their bodies away so freely to, like, women are having there are women who are having standards. There are obviously women who are not willing to give out their body for men just for anything, because there's obviously some type of like transactional kind of situation and in the economy where, a man wants this, that, they're here and a third from a woman. And so it's just like, all right, bet. Well, we want this, that, here and a third. And there is, you guys want to like you guys negotiate between that, and ultimately you get that. It's way better, way more respectful than you guys trying to like baby trap a man and trying to get him to succumb to you, and all this other kind of shit, where you're using all these tricks and things of that nature. But I mean, some people are still doing it. Uh, that is a very enriching conversation for another day. But I don't want to stay off on the topic. What I see right now, or at least my issue that I want to address, is the women who are out here trying to dictate exactly like what I should be doing with my life. And it's just like it's really heavily influenced by women that are overseas, who still want to live vicariously through someone else because they spent most of their years, trying to bag a man, and they're doing everything in order to to be manipulative, to secure a man by either baby trapping him. It's not just, an arranged marriage, it's acquiring a man, trapping him, manipulating him, having his babies, him supporting those babies, marriage, of course, and things of that nature, in which, a man is more or less like, obligated to you. And hopefully you're not crazy. Like, dear God, hopefully you're not a crazy where you're just making it really just like unbearable. God damn. Like, it's so insane for women to have promoted like, oh, be his piece. I'm like, when you want to have a certain kind of healthy counterpart, in order for you to be able to, spend more money or acquire more money, like, you feel me? Like, you would want to have a healthy, you would want to have like, I mean, I can get where you want to be exciting, but for you to go ahead and want to be a figure to literally like tear down people and make them just fucking miserable, like, eventually that product is not going to be as awesome as it once was. So what are you going to do? This intention, like, you're basically saying that you want to ride a horse until it's no longer rideable. You literally you sought out somebody, or you're seeking out someone in order to take them for everything that they got and then to leave them. It's almost like how men do women for their youth and their beauty. And I guess women are no different when it comes to, I guess, the man's resources. And in the meantime, just kind of give him a whole bunch of like, make him be miserable and torture him. It's just the whole weird, awkward balance between that is just something that is a sight to see. And I'm just like, ugh, that's not something that I wanted to. Oh, look at you, scoot your ass back over here. Mm-hmm. Did you have a good poo? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have a good bowel movement? Yeah, yeah. It tuckered her out. Go ahead, go sushi. Um. Oh shit! It's 1 o'clock. All right, I'm gonna go soon, but yeah, primarily, I just wanted to talk about, the power of the eclipse and how humble it makes humanity. It's to me, how humble it makes mankind without even really trying. Like, actually, without even trying, it's literally like, it's seriously the whole transition where a perfect circle comes in front of another perfect circle, and it's just a natural situation that not even, man can, influence or change or anything of that nature. It's just like, "Hey guys, what's going on? Hey, what's going on?" None of this is it's like it's like the sun is like, I'm beautiful. And the moon is just like, "Hey Ashley." Sun is like, "Hey Amber, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this." 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Oh my god, it's amazing! It's the eclipse. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Hey girl. Yeah. Over 1,000 years of doing this, and it never gets old. I know, girl. High five. See you in next couple years, bitch. Oh my god, I love you, son. I love you, Moon. I love you, Eclipse. We love you too, human. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And humans can never, men can never. They can't do that yet. You can't do that yet. Okay. Okay. It's like eat your heart out, Elon. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm so kidding. Sir. Or yeah, Elani. But it's just like and it's like, yes, like eat your heart out, Elon. You can't do this. You can't do this yet. So it's just like, yeah, it's so weird. It's yeah, but so yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to talk about that. Um, because it's not I mean, obviously it's not just him and it's not him. It's really other people who have like a serious he seems more humble than a lot of other people who just kind of like he seems more imaginative. A lot of other people just seem more exact, more of a like they are gods or some shit like that. And it's just like, yo, come up off that bitch. Like, yo, like, could you do this today? Could you do this today? They were like, oh well, I mean, give us a couple years. Exactly. Exactly. They don't have a couple years. Like, you feel me? Like, yo, if the earth was to end today, can you save us? You can't. You can't. You can't even save yourself. You're asking somebody somewhere right now for your fucking Pedialyte because you're old and you're decrepit. That's it for like, yeah. Just like I'm just thinking of like the old people right now who are like the ancient people who are in those secret societies and shit like that. Like in those clandestine kind of organizations and things of that nature. This is like, I am man, I am, oh, this is white powers, my white privileges, and yeah, but you can't do this, huh? Can't do that, huh? You're in robes and shit like that, humming and doing things in the night. This is weird. Um, Yo, the things that are happening in religion is insane, man. In fucking insane. Because, bruh, I just, I like the fact that there are more people having more concepts of, you know, people are having more concepts and definitely breaking away from the norm where they're not too gullible in certain kind. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. Actually, no, I take that back because people are. I feel like people are way more gullible now, and way more imaginative and abusive um, when it comes to religion. Like it's really becoming a repeat in history. Like it hasn't become. No, actually, no. I mean, it hasn't become as the number of deaths are not as large as back then during the Crusades, but there's still damages, there's still deaths, there's still murders based off on people's beliefs, based on people's values or perceptions of what should be. And it's just, yeah, I think this video really is about just, the whole concept of man, their unhealthy mindset right now, where everybody like what is healthy really, because honestly health is always something that has to be continuously maintained. You cannot just you can reach a level of healthy, but you always have to do things in order to maintain it. So I mean, you can get as close as healthy as possible, but it's always something that you have to still strive for. But I'm saying that it's like, a lot of people are just really fucking unwell, especially when I see a lot of the religious doctrine that they choose to believe in, or even if they don't want to challenge any of their values and the beliefs that they were either conditioned with, or grew up in the household to believe and practice. I think my grandmother for giving me the option to practice and believe in who I wanted to believe, and that I got to examine and experience different types of religion under the Christian faith, and also on my own look into other religions. So I really do I value that. And having said that, it's just like goddamn. Some people really just take it far fucking left and are like, it's not just a kumbaya moment. It's just like, no, like you must do this, you must do that. Again, I gotta go point it back out with the women, where it's just like they want to go ahead and dictate at like they like to dictate other women and younger men because ideally they would love to dictate men too. And they kind of do in certain kind of ways, but it's just like, it's for the most part, it's really fucking underhanded and gross. Like, how many times have you seen moments where people go to therapy still talking about their parents? You feel me? Like, we should not, for all the shit that I've been through, we should not be the kind of adults that really blame our parents for how we are today, okay? Because I had moments where, my parent, my mother was, a fucking mental Gemini. Need I say more? Okay. And and it's just like it's and also like, I grew up around, I mean, and as a young adult with no maternal figure in my life because they passed away. And there were just, other women who just seemed just a little bit like, weird. I gotta admit, they just seemed a little bit weird. For the most part. There's probably like one that was like my aunt, but even then she got, she was a little wild. She was like Medea. Okay, for the most part. Um, so but yeah, I just think that, with all the shit that I've been through, from as a child, I mean, it really wasn't that bad except for that, that experience that was really, damaging, and also just, being around my mom. Other than that, my childhood was pretty good for the most part. And that, but my young adulthood, and my adulthood up until this day too, with all the bullshit that have come against me with the black community primarily, and others, I still hold myself to a regard that, that I don't fall back on the old excuse. Oh, but it's just how I was raised, and this, that, here, and the third. Like, you sound really weak, bitch. Like, there's been so much shit that I've been through, and yet I'm not using that as a fucking excuse in order to harm others. Like, yo, you're just using that as a really weak ass punk ass excuse. Like, there's no there's no maturity in that. There's none. I find that very cowardice. I find that very unattractive. I find that very weak because you hide behind that. You know? I mean, go to therapy, bitch. If you need to hold somebody's hand in order to get you through that, in order for you to actually step up and be accountable for who you are as a human being, because really no one had a fucking excuse in order to do this in the first place. But they damn sure can't go ahead and fall back on their parents. That can be a contributing factor, but at some point in time, like, you should have, grew the fuck up. And so when I see the content that I, stumbled upon earlier today, well, earlier yesterday, I just look at it with such disgust because I'm just like, what was your reason? Like, all this shit was all on you. All on you. Don't try to throw it up on somebody else. Like, all this shit was all on you. You had no reason to go this far, and you had no reason to do the harmful things and abusive things that you've done. You had no reason in order to try to lie, no, in order to lie on me, in order to try to attempt to harm me and execute me, in order to slander against me, in order to project all your hatred and misdirect pain from your childhood, and wherever it is that you wanted to get, your pain from, or you've acquired your pain from. No excuse. No excuse. That was something that you needed to handle on your own. You failed to be responsible. Like, for all the shit that you guys have been talking about, you failed to be responsible, which is why it really irks my nerves when I see women trying to, like, parent me on some shit, because I'm just like, bitch, from where you're standing, you are a fucked up individual where you should not be speaking at all. Forget the material possessions, because ultimately you forget the part where you guys have tried to undermine me, and you have challenged, things and my resources behind the scenes in order to feel like you have some type of significance or importance in my life. You have pretended that you've come up with original concepts and ideas, knowing goddamn well that those were mine, but you didn't want to give me any fucking credit. You actually pretended that I actually worked with you when we never worked together. Okay, like, the original concepts, the original ideas, and all that other shit was mine. And yet you guys pretend to be like some type of parrots with dementia where you see it, but then you forget and then you repeat it like, R? Oh, I do lashes. R? Oh, don't, go to school. R? Like, it's just like, I can't speak bird like you. I do have like an avian, I have an affinity for the avian life, but pardon me if I cannot excel in this particular species of bird that you bitches be squawking because it baffles the mind and baffles anybody who is sane enough to comprehend like like y'all bitches weird. Y'all bitches are really fucking wild in in this situation where y'all have really thought that things were going to be copacetic between us because y'all were acting funny. Y'all were acting foul. Y'all had problems that y'all needed to resolve within yourselves. And this also goes for men too, because men are deeply, deeply fucking hurt and deeply fucking bothered. And I'm just like, with a woman, bitch, a woman, you are like your foundation is to be, a fucking man. Okay? Like in the most cliche ways in a harlequin way. Like I get that, times are changing. I do get that. It's just that as instinctual as it is to know how to raise a child or feed a child, rear a child where all of a sudden it's like certain things become instinct. It should be instinct for you to take care of a woman. It should be instinct for you to respect a woman in a way where you're not over here trying to like fucking force yourselves on her or be perverted. Okay. You should really learn how to control that. And this fucking day and age, that's something that you should have fucking developed and you should have had in check. Okay. Don't try to use any other excuse because there is none. Okay. Don't be like, well, this is just me. I'm a man. Nah, fuck out of here. Okay. Well, then if that's the case, then you need to shut the fuck up when women, I guess, obviously play in your face when they act accordingly because of your fucking disrespect. Okay, because with every action has a reaction. Okay, I just really needed to say that because like people really were having like I think with this not with just the solar eclipse but just things in general, people really were quietly subconsciously making a call to action where things need to come into the forefront about like reality and just about making sense about things. We're over here dismantling people's illusions and delusions where, you need to stop trying to control other people, especially when it comes to like on some bullshit where you're like, this is some bullshit. Like, yo, like who the fuck do you think you are trying to like speak on behalf of like trying to pair people? I think it was Netflix or Hulu that was talking. I think it's both. I think both Netflix and Hulu made a documentary about people who were talking about like twin flames and the divine feminine and all that other kind of bullshit. Where like you're over here trying to force your beliefs onto somebody and be like, oh yeah, well like this person is like, oh this person is tied up right now, but this person is your person. That's sick. Okay, that's sick. Okay. There could possibly be somebody right now who may be in a relationship, but what does that have to do with you? You feel me? Like, that's not your cookie. Okay. That's not your cookie. That's not your cookie. Either find your own cookie, let the cookie come to you, be the person who you need to be before that cookie comes to you. You feel me? Like you are all right. If that is a cookie that you want, that cookie right now is baking. That cookie's in the fucking oven. Do not even expect that cookie. Expect other cookies, okay? There are many cookies on the fucking sheet. Many cookies are on the fucking sheet that are baking right now. And you are the glass of milk. Okay? You are the glass of milk. You can be chocolate, you can be strawberry, you can be white. You're the glass of milk, you're cold, and right now you're a little worried because you're warming up. Okay? You're on the table and you're sitting across the oven and there are cookies in the oven on the tray. Okay. And so what you're doing right now is like you're perspiring, it's condensation or whatever like that. Use whatever figurative expression that you want to for being the glass of milk that's cold and condensing. For some reason, there's somebody there, a customer, okay, that is just like, oh my God, those cookies in there are mine. I want that cookie that's in there. I want the cookies in that's in there. But then there's somebody else who had already ordered cookies who's just like, no, 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 no. That's their cookies. But then somebody else is telling you, no, that's that's your cookies. It's somebody's cookies. Who whoever gets the cookies. But it's like this. It's just like you are not a person who should be expecting somebody else's cookies. Okay, that's not your order. Okay, that's not your order. Wait your turn. Sip your milk. Fucking have a pie. Fucking have something else. You feel me? Like a Danish or enjoy the cookie that is already out there. Maybe if one is maybe if the cookie that is already out there has too much like, it's too much it's a little dry because of the air exposure and things of that nature, or it's just not your flavor. Okay then, but that cookie right there, that's somebody else's order. Wait till your cookie comes. Just I just it's just some type of point of reference where I'm just like like, you see where I'm trying to go with this, or at least for some people who are imaginative enough, which a lot of people should be, considering that you believe in a lot of these funny ass religions that have been made like overnight and some shit. Um, but you can kind of grasp at what I'm trying to get at, where it's just like let it the fuck go, because a lot of people are almost like these Marilyn Man, like these. I mean, sorry, Marilyn Manson, these Charles Manson kind of cult members with their mentality and their thinking, where they feel like, oh no, like you must be this person because our religion says so. Our religion that we created says so. So we're gonna just choose this person off the street and make you the person of reference that we want to oppress or use as a figure or as our poster child. And that's fucking sick, man, especially if that person does not volunteer to become that person. And especially if the person, such as myself, literally states that that's not what I want. I cannot, I cannot swallow, and I cannot respect or agree with or want them to even exist when I see women, black women, white women, because I've seen all kinds. Try to tell me exactly what I should be doing with my fucking life and who I should be fucking be with. Okay, I did not save well, not save myself because I'm not a virgin. Okay, it's a long time ago. Okay, I waited till I was 18. Yes, but it was just like it was a long time ago when I finally gave up the D card. So it was just like SA aside, that was a very traumatizing, child traumatizing situation. But like I waited until I was 18 until to give my kulalas away. Oh my god, I hate the way my eyes like oh it's being. Sorry, Leonardo DiCaprio. Because literally, I was just like, I was so like, oh my god, it's like seriously. When I was younger, I believed that I was gonna give myself away to DiCaprio. That was so funny. Oh my goodness. You see that right there? Right in my fucking eye. Ugh, I hate that. I'm telling you, I'm not being dramatic. Like they're out to get me. Okay, these little things. Wow, are you kidding me, bro? Can you see that? You see that? You see that? Who do I talk to? Who do I talk to up above in regards to eyelashes? This is ridiculous. This really is. Like everybody should have long eyelashes. Natural long eyelashes. It's not just for men. It shouldn't be. I guess because men were the ones that were always out and about doing all the laborious things that they obviously needed. Men were designed to do the labor. Okay, that's why they made those eyelashes. It's just like camels. It's just like camels. You feel me? Because like when it comes to nature, like people are supposed to like when it comes to nature, people are supposed to be equipped with certain kind of expectancy to their environments. You feel me? Like with black people, it was obviously because of the melanin when it comes to the sun and the climate and the arid regions. White people, I don't know. Sorry. No, White people, I guess, I mean, they do have their own natural they have their own natural equipment, that they were made for. That's why they love the cold. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like, of course we love the cold. That's what they're like. There's like, of course we love the cold. We love it. We fucking love it. It's really because of like what they're white. So, it's like a natural thing for them. Um, there's obviously more science to that, but still. But yeah, like, oh my gosh, like men, the way how they have long eyelashes, it was like, because they're out there to hunt and run and things of that nature. So clearly they don't want anything to like really like harm their eyes and things of that nature. So they were just like, okay, look, we're gonna make your eyelashes longer so that way it can protect you from like, environmental things, like from the air and from sand and things of that nature. That's good things. That's good things because women. We were born with certain kind of like the hips, and we were born with certain kind of you know we had the tools in order to live, in order to regulate into this land and things of that nature. I'm just saying, like it would not have harmed God, or it would not have been too much just to give us longer eyelashes, to give women longer eyelashes because we need it. Okay, especially me, especially people with big eyes, because I'm just really tired of things, especially people with animals, because like I yeah, I'm just tired of a whole bunch of like sweater stuff and cat hair getting into my eyes. It is the pits. It really is the pits. And it wouldn't like what was the harm? There was no harm. There's no harm in giving us longer eyelashes. Like for real, for real. And men don't need them now. You feel me? So there should have been like some type of shift. Okay. There should have been some type of shift where the men's eyelashes were getting shorter and the women's eyelashes were getting longer. Since women seem to be doing most of the men's work and men were becoming more bitches, I feel like there should be some type of hormonal shift where our eyelashes get longer and men just become more silent when it comes to certain matters. It's just like when men have think pieces on certain things, they should just kind of be more meek and mild. It's like as a man, I that's nice there. You just kind of drift off into nothing. Just like yeah, for real, for real. Um, but yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I just wanted to just kind of have this moment out here to say to the people who are obviously still on this whole downward spiral to still trying to slander me and trying to save face by, trying to make lies about me and all that kind of shit to try to stay tethered to me. I still have the receipts and I still have y'all screenshot and y'all save content for people who are helping the OG lazy losers. So, you know, you do it to yourself when I put your business out there. And yeah, and that goes for the both of you. So, let it be known, and that you're doing it off of being overly egotistical and greedy, self serving. At the very end of the day, there's no misunderstanding about you harming me and putting me on blast. There's no misunderstanding about you trying to kill me. Now, there's been people that have been saying some things, in order to try to challenge my intelligence and my insight. And then that's when the receipts come out. The tangible proof and things of that nature is definitely expected for this month. And I have no fucking regrets. It's really weird on how, let's call it for what it is. It's really weird on how some of you niggers decide to go about it in trying to vilify me, for wanting to have boundaries. Because you did try to like literally you were intentionally like you did all this with the intentions that I harm myself and that you were also harming me. So it was like either you end me or that I end myself based off on you, bullying me and cyberbullying me and doing a lot of malicious shit offline and trying to gaslight me and assassinate my character. Just remember, you're not an innocent person in this. I'm just reminding you about how horrible you have been in regards to the bullshit. And yet you are offended and trying to act victim because I don't know, I want to live. You feel me? I see the bullshitter in you. I am calling it out for what it is on the fuck shit that you've been doing. And mostly about the part where it is I'm just, putting shit out there. That is proof. That is evident. That is online. That is, government cited about who you are as an individual. Strange now that you think that it's okay for you to call yourself the victim or that you want to try to vilify me. I want to leave you guys with this. Go fuck yourself. This is that's pretty much it. Like there's so many historical references in regards to the bullshit that people have done where they obviously fought for themselves, like stood up for themselves from, we'll always go back to slavery. And considering that, you guys were trying to reenact that, we'll always go back to that. We'll always go back to the parts where you were literally being a nigger, coon, bitch, and reenacting a whole lot of abusive stuff, wanting me to die, wanting to see me harmed. Okay. Let's not forget that because I won't. I really will not. Because it will be the thing that saves me when a lot of you fucking roach bitches try to crawl your ass back into my life and try to make it seem like this was nothing or that this was a misunderstanding or that you think that this can be something that can be swept under the rug and I'm supposed to be fine with that shit. This is why I'm saying like, yo, when it comes to like religions, like yo, y'all be on some dumb, 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 stupid ass shit. Like I cannot. I can hear something as far as like somebody that's following their intuition. He went from a page, a night. I love shopping the real real. It's Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, as your to wanting to embark on the Hierophant energy. This is the Hierophant. He's the one. He knows that somebody either tried to bind themselves to him. This mother could have tried to bind her son to her. So he can't move on or be with somebody. Whatever this is, somebody I just heard the binding spell is not working. Now somebody has to deal with the fact that somebody was obsessed. There's a lot of attraction between two people that want to come together. This masculine is going through a major awakening. That's so sick, man. Like that's crazy. I can say for myself that I don't have anybody in particular that I want to be with. I know this is kind of going back into another conversation that I just had, but it's just like that's really sick, and that's based off on a fucking religion where people have like these little spiritual beliefs that two people are meant to be together and that they want to be together. It's just like for me personally, I'm telling you right now, there's no one I want to be with. There's literally a wigger right now who may or may not be trying to like throw some different types of narratives and there are delusional black people who have like these belief systems and businesses that is based around that trying to push an agenda to have two people together for their own self-serving needs, and I think it's really fucking gross and these people need to grow the fuck up. It's that whole nigger mindset, nigger concept. Like yo, I never want to see a day in my life with another person really trying to like harbor such fucking resentment and ugliness in which you want to go ahead and control somebody or damage somebody's life just because of your delusions and your mental unwellness. Your health is like really skewed and fucked up. Don't. Don't. There's a difference between believing in some kind of this is the thing I had mentioned before about like say like 9/11. There are two different there obviously there's multiple religions like probably perhaps on there's definitely multiple there's definitely two at least two different religions on those fucking Boeing planes Boeing jet airplanes where one believed that once they fulfill this duty, that they will be rewarded by, I believe, being with, I think over a thousand or hundreds or a thousand of virgins. But it was just like it was for a vendetta. It was for a political statement. And I can understand making a political statement, but not that kind of statement. Not where you are attacking innocent lives. I understand war is war, but there's certain kind of ways in which you can do that. And it's just like this was just really fucked up. That was just inexcusable. So imagine, if you will, there is someone on the plane with the intentions to take everybody out, including themselves, and you're all innocent parties. You're not going to be like, yeah, sure, man. Go ahead and do this because your religion is supersedes ours, which is, the Christian faith of, you believe in God. And some of you might have been atheists or um, agnostic or, anything, because there's multiple, you know religions out there. You're not going to allow somebody to oversee your beliefs and your values at the risk of your own fucking well-being and your fucking life. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's insane. That's fucking insane. And that's how I feel about these fucking religions over here that try to speak over you. And then when I call them out for it, then they want to try to vilify me too. This is why I said that I have multiple enemies, or like I have multiple different kind of, parties to go against, because they've literally picked a bone with me when I've been minding my business in my own lane, focusing on other things. But behind my back, people have been capitalizing off of me, exploiting me, and trying to have me run in circles, trying to find and secure and attain justice. When even politicians and people who are within the government are have been doing nothing but trying to do their most by trying to ridicule me and trying to, like, torture me and all the other kind of shit. And like I said, that's why I said the information that I'm bringing out to you that are, government cited and that are also just, linked to websites, like, you will rue the day. You will rue the day, because I'm really tired of this shit that you guys have been pulling, and still with the stunts where you think that I would want to fulfill, participate, or volunteer to be a part of your deluded religion or your deluded faith and business. Okay, like, y'all need to really get over yourself, because y'all should be y'all should be grateful and thankful and hopeful that you got into where you are right now. It's just like, save yourself while you can. Why are you trying to go down a continuing fucking sinking ship by trying to have me affiliated or connected with your fuck ass delusions and your fuck ass kind of belief systems and businesses that are obviously not on the up and up, and that you had to do a lot of nefarious, criminal, corrupt shit in order to keep that shit thriving. And even still, you have to manipulate a whole bunch of people who are, who come and go, and people who have fleeting um desires and wants and things of that nature. You're over here dictating other people to hop on one foot and then hop on the next, and then have your demand so high where you're just like, okay, and try to find a way where you're just like not touching the floor at all. It's insane. Like, I've just been watching and observing you guys as you were stalking me. I've just been watching and observing you guys really just, play yourselves, and ultimately finding yourselves jumping through fucking hoops. It's wild. It's wild to say. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to say for the most part, where it's just like, hey, look, if you're still in the fuck shit, I'm definitely saving and using that for future reference, because collectively, whether I'm not coming for you in the judicial system, in regards to that, you are the supportive material in which I call you out for who you are, for the niggers and coons that you are, for the racists that you are. So do not be upset for, you going ahead to try to facilitate an agenda that ultimately wanted to end my life and wanted to try to save the face of the person who's been trying to play victim and manipulate words and alter illusions and things of that nature for their own self-serving gain. And I say the own self-serving gain because a lot of you bitches were pawns. You were bought out where there was like a little transaction or a promise for this, that, here, and the third, but you were ultimately pawns. Uh, Goodbye. Because I've been doing nothing but warning people and just kind of giving people like, messages about like, how shit was just gonna go down, and just to just see it, it's just wow. Ah wow. All right, man. I am going to go. And for anybody who obviously has been advocating for my justice, I really appreciate advocating for me, you know, getting the justice that I've been wanting for a long time, to see happen, and and reveal and all that other kind of stuff. Then hey, I appreciate it. Oh yeah. So there was a screenshot that I actually wanted to something I'd seen online that I looked up. It was about the Nazis. Some of the Nazis lived up to be like, nearing 100 years old, and they were still locked up. There was like a not there was a few, actually, a few people who were like aging up there, like close to 100 or over 100, literally made it over the 100 mark, and they got taken off the street. They literally were able to escape immediate judgment and persecution and punishment for years, for decades. But judgment and the cops and whomever came for their ass even at 100, and they had to live the remainder of their life in fucking prison for the crimes and for the involvement that they had with the Holocaust. and there's a and there's a thing about the woman who literally remember when black people, collectively came together, and we were just like, oh no, this woman needs to pay for her fucking crimes for Emmett Till. Yes. Yes. You talk about wanting to let shit go. Bitch, we was ready for that old biddy to go, you know, get hers. Like, we don't care. We don't care. Put her in a fucking prison and shit like that. But the white man was just like, no, no, we can't. She's dying of cancer. It's terminal. So basically, they allowed her to live out her final moments outside. But no, that she was hated. It was like, oh, bitch, we know what you did. We hate you. Mm. Like how you dying with hate against you, and you dying with cancer. And it was just like, wow. When I saw all the vehement rage from people who were not related to Emmett, but black, but like the solidarity of the injustice for this child, and he's just one person out of many of unsung victims, victims of their songs, of their strife and their pain and their sorrow and their deaths, their murders, their unjustified offenses that have been done against them. There was something that was really just so beautiful about just like the solidarity, and in that, you feel me? When it came to that, it was like, yo, we don't care, grandma. We don't care. Like what you did. And there's the people, remember the people that there's like this really very prominent and um very prominent photo of two men that were dragged out of a prison, of like a local jail cell, and hung. They were hung in front of a white crowd, and turned out that they were innocent, and that there was one guy out there who did do something harmful, but it was just like he had it was no correlation to what he was accused of, because they said that, a woman was claiming that she was like improperly touched, but then it turned out that the bitch was lying. And they're just like, yo, that's just like, that shit is just like so fucking foul, man. The shit was so fucking, like, this is what I'm saying about like when it comes to about victims being believed and all the other kind of mess. It's just like, yo, like, but again, that's going on to another topic. But again, like, you see about what my point is just that there, do not believe that even if you did try to redeem yourself in a way, there's still the judicial punishment that needs to come with it. Okay. It can be lighter on you, but the offenses that you've intentionally done, it it needed to be fucking like, the justice system needed to come for you in some kind of way. It's just insane on how they made it okay. I mean, it's not insane like it was improper, but like they decided to apprehend and arrest and incarcerate people who were like nearing 100 and made it over 100 and incarcerate them for who were participating in Nazis and participating in the Holocaust like that. Though that needed to happen, and the woman, she didn't get arrested only because she was dying. Only because she was dying. It was just like she could have been sick or just old. And they were saying that, they were gonna arrest her. It was only because she was dying. Okay. Like that was the only way how you were going to escape being locked up at your old age is because you're dying. So your death is already guaranteed. Okay. And it's coming soon. All right. So shit. But I say that because the black people who were, all up in arms about like, oh, um, so and so who offended me and did all this outlandish shit is trying to seek God and this, that, here, and a third. And it's just like, okay, all right. That has no that's still, you can still get your capital punishment for the offense that you've done, for the damage that you've done. That does not escape you from getting, your ass grabbed by the neck, scruffed by Lady Justice. Okay. Like you're trying to handle squabs with between you and Peter at the gate, okay? Not fucking Judge Harper or some shit. You feel me? on this plane. It's crazy how y'all wanna it's crazy on how y'all want to talk about God and things of that nature. Like, now God's important to you. Now God's important to you. But before y'all were acting high and mighty, like, oh, God don't mean nothing, da 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 da. You still gonna participate in doing this shit, and y'all gonna find it funny. But all of a sudden now it's like, oh, God save me, God save me, where are you? And bye.